T, you look older than the seniors. You don't need to be intimidated by anybody.
All right. I'm joining though. All right.
There you go. See you at tryouts.
See ya.
One of the questions was, if there's a class that doesn't work for you, is it possible to change that year? There's a 2-week window where you can change, like no questions asked essentially. And it's not that big a deal. After the 2 weeks, it gets a little bit more challenging if it happens. But you usually just go to your counselor, and most of the time we can make it work, and you can change out to a different class if it's not working for you.
It is not required for you to talk to them the first 2 weeks of school, but it is if you want to switch out of class. They're the person you go to, or like if you're having trouble with something, they are the people you run to, because like you usually want to talk to them before you go to the APs for your schedule, because if they need approval from the APs, then they will go to them for you. But it's not required for you to talk to them the first 2 weeks. Maybe if you want to get to know them, then yeah.
That's a good call. Natalie asked a couple good questions and asked, what's the volleyball team like? And we actually have the same coach for the girls and the boys team. So they've really grown close together in the last couple of years. And then Jenny, I don't know if you wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, so I'm a senior and I'm very impulsive, right? And the good thing about OG is that if you want to do something and be involved, you can go for it. No one would judge you. So I decided I wanted to volleyball like the summer going into my senior year. And mind you, I have no prior experience. Like, I'm terrible at volleyball, but I still made it onto the team. I was first on JV, and then I moved up to varsity as I was practicing. And how it works is that for girls at least, the coaches aren't as hard on you or as like expecting you to be super committed throughout like the summer. So during the summer, we have this training period that you go to. I think there's also like open gym, and that's like $2. But if you're like practicing or conditioning to be on the girls volleyball team, there's no fee really. So how that works is the coach will be there, both coaches, and also for our freshman team as well. They'll all be there. They'll help you, they'll condition you, you'll go through like drills and things like that. And then I'd recommend, if you do have volleyball shoes, to bring them. If not, just wear shoes that have like a grip to them so that you won't slip. I know I made the mistake of not bringing like grip shoes. And yes, like coming from someone who isn't good at volleyball either, it might be difficult to not always be hard on yourself, but you're always better than how you view yourself, if that makes sense. So everyone there, it's a competitive atmosphere, but everyone there is always down to help you. So don't be afraid to ask questions. And even if you're shy, you'll see yourself opening up and coming out of your shell throughout the season. What else? It's
fun.
fun.
Know that the volleyball team does come together with the ESCO one, and like they all get along. Like the boys and girls volleyball are always going out together, and I only know that because I know a couple people on the team, and like they get along all practice all together. The boys help the girls are with the boys, watching them and like getting new skills. And when they do open gym, it's literally open gym. Like the ESCO people come, the SP people, I think some SP people.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're always hanging out with each other. Like you get to meet people from other schools.
Yeah. So don't be scared. Just go for it.
Okay. Obviously we covered sports, and that's a big part of the clubs on campus. Other clubs that you guys participate in? Because I know you guys specifically are very heavily involved. So if you maybe want to pick like one or two of the clubs that you're in and just talk about that real quick. Marina, did you freeze? This might be a good time for you.
While they are...
Marina might be frozen.
About that, yeah.
I think she froze.
For you, middle school students who are thinking about high school and what you're going to do and all the extras and stuff, this group that you're looking at here, these high school kids that Mr. Gallo just said, they're heavily involved in a lot of different things. And it's their coursework, and it's their extracurriculars, and it's the sports, and it's the leadership, and it's just the community on the campus. If we could multiply them times everybody, this would be amazing. I think what I'd love to see more of, and I think we always would love to see more of, is making sure all students find something. So you might not be the kid who wants to do everything, or maybe you are, but do something. Find something to get yourself involved in outside of school, besides just schoolwork. And you're going to have tremendous memories, whether it's going to be a team or a club or just going to the dances and stuff. But don't be afraid. Like they've a bunch of kids have said, don't be afraid to go out there and feel like, oh, I don't know enough, or I'm not sure if I'm good enough, or whatever. Just go out there and do it and try new things, and don't regret it like Cecilia does about not playing sports earlier on. Do those things. And this is a great time while you're thinking about it for hopping into high school.
I'm glad you said that, Mrs. Lee, because that's one of the things that when we're talking to our students on campus and seeing them, is that be involved, do something at high school. You should always do it at all your schools. And we have such an active student community that are very involved. We want you to continue that in high school. It's really important. In fact, if you take one Mrs. Moore rule, pick one thing and do something extra in high school. You will not regret it, and it makes it so much more fun. So keep that in mind, and there's going to be so many opportunities. You'll find what it is you want to do, whether that's arts or acting or singing or dance or sports or computers. There's all kinds of things for you to do. So enjoy.
And those are great points. Obviously, you'd be amazed to see how high your grades correlate with how high you're involved in school. And not to pick on Cecilia, but she wasn't the most studious her first year, but she really grew and got more involved. And now on Spirit Day, she's banging pots and pans, making a fool of herself for meme day. And I mean, she's going to a 4-year next year. So that's just one example of many where kids that got involved really improved themselves as people and as students. I was going to ask Marina to talk about METCHA and multicultural and a couple others. Go ahead, Ceci. I saw the question too.
Meme Day. So ASB runs like different kind of groups. We have a dance group. We have a spirit group, rowdy crowd group. We have a bunch of different ones. And we have a bunch of different groups. And so me and Cynthia actually are in charge of the spirit group, and we come up with a spirit week every time we hit a rally day. Every time we hit a rally day, the week of rally, we come up with a spirit week, and the spirit week sometimes kind of goes, well, it usually has to go with the theme of the rally. With the theme of the rally, and one day we had meme day. Meme day is where you dress up as your favorite. You recreate your favorite Vine, TikTok, or meme, and every student was like walking around with a paper that described their meme, or was dressed as their Vine, and like doing a bunch of weird stuff just to make sure you understood the Vine or the meme and stuff like that. A rally day. Okay, so rally day is actually Daniela's in charge of the rally. She can explain that.
Okay, so I'm in charge of rally committee, and in the rally committee we plan this like big days, usually on a Friday at the end of the spirit week. And for example, if it's like around the world, the theme, we have to make sure that we correlate the around the world theme. So for example, we have I think this was during fall, so it was like our tennis team, our golf team, and like we usually do it to showcase our sports. So for example, our fall sports, winter sports, or I forgot the other one. Oh, spring sports. And we usually just showcase our team sports, and then we also play a couple games where we have our players and a couple of people from the crowd play a game. We also like showcasing our ROTC group and then our dance company group, and it's just like a big event where we showcase everything we have in school.
Okay, thank you. Daniela did a great job running those rallies too. As we start to look to wrap up, if you want to give advice to incoming 8th graders for next year, so we'll go one by one from you guys. Advice for students next year, or advice you would have given your 9th grade self? So Cynthia, do you want to start us off?
Okay, like everyone has been saying, a big thing is getting involved, and one thing that I regret is not doing things sooner, like joining ASB my freshman year, or playing more sports. So the more involved you are, the more you're going to enjoy school. I know for me personally, my freshman year, I did not like going to school. I a lot of times would like act like I was sick so I wouldn't have to, but getting more involved really helped me enjoy school and like look forward to actually going, which is so weird because if I looked back at that time, I would never have thought that I would like be wanting to go to school. Like now, I know for a lot of us, like we miss going to school and like we miss not just seeing our friends, but like the atmosphere and like just the people there and doing everything that we used to do. So one thing is to get involved, like sports as much as you can, and even if you're not an athletic person, like find something that you're going to look forward to.
Daniela?
So adding on to what Cynthia had said, I feel that being involved is one of the like best ways you can create memories. So being an 8th grader, I was like the shyest person ever. So one of the only reasons why I joined ASB freshman year was because I went on my way and I went to the ASB room and I asked for an application, and I said that was like one of the best things I could have ever done. Being a freshman, I didn't know much. So having a whole classroom full of seniors and juniors and like everyone really helped me grow as a person. I was actually able to like talk to like different people from different grades, from different clubs, different sports. And they're people that you can like get advice from. So having someone doing like millions of things, they're like, oh, like you should join this. So you try it, so you're able to like show or do things that to help show who you really are. And I feel that as you get involved into like many different things, I feel that that's how I got my best memories from high school.
Jenny?
Okay, so kind of like being different from everyone, or like what everyone has been saying, it is recommended to get involved, but if you feel so much pressure, you don't have to. And when we say to get involved, it doesn't have to be something big like ASB or like the biggest club on campus either. It could be something that you find interest in. Again, do what you feel is best for you. And what makes like the other things that are super like irritating to you less irritating. So let's say you don't want to go to school, or like you don't have an interest in going to school, find something that kind of takes away that like pressure, you know what I mean? Personally, don't wear yourself out. Like it's so fun to get caught up in the moment and be involved in as many things as possible. Like for me, Key Club is like a really big community service club. So if you like that, then go ahead and do that too. If you like band, join band. You know, there's at least one thing for everyone at school, or at OG. And so I would say just don't be afraid to try new things, and don't be afraid to ask questions either. Because then you won't what am I trying to say? You won't give yourself like room to grow or room to improve. So yeah, just take it easy. Never feel like you have to be pressured to do something. And you don't always have to do the same things that your friends want to do either. Because I didn't really have friends, in middle school. And so when I chose my school, it was kind of easy. I didn't have that pressure. But my friend group now, we all do different things. So it is possible to have the same friends that you kind of like grew up with, but also do the things that you like as well. So yeah.